Hi, and welcome back to Arno TV. I'm your lovable host Arno, coming back to you with another video. Now we're going to continue straight on from yesterday, because I've heard and seen, should I say, the propaganda machine for this third national lockdown in full swing again today. Okay, so on the radio, on the way to work, and on the way home from work, and also when I got up first thing this morning on Sky. Okay, who did I see on Sky first thing this morning pushing propaganda from the government? Okay, and trying to obviously get this fear ramped up even further to justify a forthcoming third national lockdown. Who was it? Our favourite politician, Matt Hancock. So let's go have a look at what he had to say for himself on Sophie Ridge this morning first thing. Okay, I'm going to lower the music down and we'll have a little listen to what Hancock had to say for himself this morning. Okay?
Well, we're joined now in the studio by the Health Secretary, Matthew Hancock. Thank you very much for being with us.
Good morning.
Difficult few days for all of us, I'm sure. Before we get on to the rest of the interview, I just want to play you a clip of the Prime Minister. This is from Wednesday.
We don't want to, as I say, to ban Christmas, to cancel it, and I think that would be frankly inhuman and against the instincts of many people in this country.
Why has the Prime Minister now imposed a policy that just 4 days ago he said would be inhuman?
Well, we don't want to do any of this, but it's necessary. I mean, this has been an awful end to what has been an incredibly difficult year. And on Friday, when we were presented with that new scientific evidence about the new variant, it was our duty to act. And from being presented on Friday afternoon with the strength of how easy this new variant finds it to transmit from one human to another, we acted very quickly and decisively, and with the announcements that the Prime Minister set out yesterday. And I just think everybody watching will feel this sense that we both feel of disappointment, and that it's just so difficult ahead of Christmas, which everybody was really looking forward to after all of the sacrifices that have been made. But unfortunately, this virus, the new strain, was out of control. We've got to get it under control. And the way that we can do that, the only way you can do that, is by restricting social contact. And essentially, especially in Tier 4 areas, everybody needs to behave as if they might well have the virus. And that is the way that we can get it under control and keep people safe.
I think people...
So there you go, London, South East and East. Matt Hancock wants you to behave like you've got the virus. That's what Matt Hancock wants you all to do. Now, he was on there pushing his propaganda and talking about how disappointed he was that at such a late stage Christmas has been cancelled, etc. Well, let me tell you something, he didn't look very disappointed to me. He's actually starting to look a lot more sinister. To me, Matt Hancock looks like he's enjoying this, okay? He looks like he's power tripping, okay? So, that's my opinion. I think he looks like he's enjoying it, okay? And isn't it strange as well that one thing I did notice as well when I was watching Sky this morning, because I saw Hancock on there and I saw Sadiq Khan on there as well. And the narrative Sky were pushing this morning was how unfair it was that London and the South East, how unfair it was that Christmas had been cancelled for them, and in other parts of the UK, even though it was going to go ahead only on one day now and much more limited than before, how unfair that was. And don't get me wrong, people in London in the South East and East, please don't misunderstand me on this. I think it is terrible that you guys have had your Christmases completely ruined. I do. But where was this outcry for places like mine that have been under a Tier 3 lockdown effectively since July? And there's places like Leicester that have been even longer, okay? So let's just remember that there's a lot of people that have been under all sorts of draconian restrictions for months, okay? So now let's not have this spun like this, okay? Because the only reason why they wanted to spin it like this, let me tell you, is to ramp up the fear so that they can justify national lockdown number 3, okay? And trust me, it's coming. It is coming, and we all know that, don't we? I mean, as I said, it's been an overdrive today. Like I said, Sadiq Khan, look, here it is in the Express. Sadiq Khan warns Christmas will be worse since World War II as he slams ineffective tier system. The worst Christmas since World War II. That's Sadiq Khan for you. That's basically what he's saying. I'll leave the link in the description as always, people. And in the mail, the propaganda ramping up even further. Shopping streets in London lie eerily deserted as non-essential stores close their doors under Tier 4 rules, a day after huge crowds descended on Capitol to buy gifts before new restrictions came into force. Okay? 0 shopping days left till Christmas. Okay? So, they're ramping up the propaganda. They are ramping up the propaganda because they want to get it into your heads that we're going to be under a lockdown. Okay? And as I said yesterday, I won't be surprised if there's another announcement this side of Christmas. If not, definitely on the 30th, okay? Because that's the way that these people are taking. And we have, and let's not forget the kind of people we're dealing with, okay? Let's not forget what kind of a government we have and also what kind of an opposition we have. Because we have people like Keir Starmer and his little crew, okay, that aren't happy that the measures and the laws that have been passed, they're not happy because they want them to be tougher, okay? Let's not forget that. We have people like Keir Starmer who want anybody who speaks out in any negative way whatsoever to do with the vaccine, he wants them to be banned from online, removed, silenced. And he wants the social media companies like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube and whoever else, he wants them to be fined, okay, for anybody criticising the vaccine, okay? He wants tougher measures, okay? He wants more draconian enforcement of rules, okay? We've got a government, we've got a disgusting, pathetic excuse for a government that are quite happy to change the law when it suits them, don't we? Okay? On that Sophie Ridge interview with Hancock this morning, he went on to say how he'd been up all night changing the law, okay, so that he could pass on that law to the police and they could enforce that, allowing them and making sure that people weren't travelling from Tier 4 areas into other areas of England and allowing the police to be able to find these people, arrest these people, etc. Okay, so he wants more draconian enforcement of rules again. Okay, what a surprise. Okay, and let's not forget the other times that they've made new laws recently, either this government, okay, and what people like Hancock, Patel, Johnson, what these people have to answer for, okay? Let's not forget that, okay, because we've got, let's not forget that on the 23rd of October this year, 2020, our wonderful, disgusting, pathetic excuse for a government very well knew, didn't they, certain information. And we know that they knew certain information because guess what happened on the 23rd of October, guys? Okay, especially anyone who's new to this channel, on the 23rd of October, our government published a tender, didn't they? Okay, and what was that tender about? Okay, and who was it for? Okay, well that tender was for the MHRA, and who are they? They're the regulatory body of the NHS, aren't they? So they're the government, aren't they? Okay, and our government and the MHRA, they urgently, we could say for sure on the 23rd of October, because this tender was published that day, and they urgently needed, didn't they? They urgently needed a new AI software tool, didn't they? And what did they need it for? They needed it for the huge numbers of adverse reactions, adverse drug reactions, should I say, ADRs, to the COVID-19 vaccine, didn't they? Okay? They knew that. And, you know, what else did they know? They also knew that their legacy systems. So what they mean when they say legacy systems is they're talking about all their computer systems and software, etc., that they've got in place already. That couldn't be retrofitted, could it? So they needed a new AI software tool to track the high number of ADRs that they were expecting to the COVID-19 vaccine, didn't they? Okay, and they also knew as well that they wouldn't have this in place by the time that they launched the COVID-19 vaccine, didn't they? Okay, and they also knew that by not having this in place, it was going to be a threat to public health and life. They knew that, didn't they? And what did they do after the 23rd of October? This disgusting, pathetic excuse for a government. What did they do? They changed the law, didn't they? They changed the law so Pfizer and all the other drug companies that are going to be pushing the vaccine, such as Moderna and AstraZeneca and the like, okay, they changed the law that none of these companies could be sued by anybody for any adverse drug reactions they may encounter with the vaccine or any other problems that they may have. Okay, that's what this government did. Okay, and let's not pretend that this is not the kind of people that we're dealing with. Okay, and this contract that they've granted, by the way, for this AI software tool, and they spent £1.5 million excluding VAT on this contract. Who did they award it to? Who was it? It was a company called Genpact, wasn't it? And who are they? They're an Indian company, okay? They're a global company, but they're an Indian company, okay? And that company just happens to have an association with Matt Hancock. Okay, and we know that because on the government's own website, okay, we know because there's an article on their website, and I'll leave it again in the link in the description, that we know Matt Hancock met the founder of Genpact in 2014, don't we? Because in 2014, at number 10, David Cameron, Oliver Letwin, Matt Cameron, and Vince Cable, because it was a coalition government back then, met a business group called the IAN Network, the Indian Angel Network, which is a group of business people and entrepreneurs that were looking to do business in the UK. All right, and amongst that group was a chap called Pramod Bisen, who's the founder of Genpact. And he's known Matt Hancock since 2014. He must have done because he met him, okay? And isn't it strange that that company has been awarded that 1.5 million contract with the MHRA for this new AI software tool, okay? And who else is this company working with? And Matt Hancock. Who are they both working with? They're both working with the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab. Isn't that strange? Okay, so this is the kind of thing that these people are involved in. Let's not forget that this is the kind of people we're dealing with, because the mainstream media, they might want to pretend otherwise to you guys, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna pretend like they do. I'm not going to insult your intelligence, because this is the kind of people we're dealing with, and they are hell-bent on taking us into another national lockdown. And as long as they're doing their deals with their friends in drug companies or companies like Genpact and the like, or anyone else that they know that they're dishing out a contract to, okay, as long as they're all right and they're doing those deals, they don't care about us or our safety. Because if they did care about our safety, they wouldn't have rolled out a COVID-19 vaccine knowing that there was going to be high volumes of ADRs to that vaccine, would they? They wouldn't have done it. And all that information is in the public domain. And isn't it strange that none of the mainstream media are talking about it? All they wanted to talk about now is ramping up the fear of the government propaganda to scare everybody into a third national lockdown. That's what's going on at the moment. isn't it? So don't think that I am stupid enough, that I'm stupid, should I say, you know, and not noticing this, okay? Because they're hoping that people are that stupid and don't notice, okay? And this is what's going on, and this is the kind of people that we are dealing with. And as I've said all along, these people, such as Hancock, Starmer, Patel, Johnson, Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, they all need to answer some serious questions. And what's wrong with that? Because the media won't put them under any kind of scrutiny or ask them any kind of questions about the things they're doing and the things that they're all involved in, will there? So if we don't ask these questions, no one will. This is what's going on, people. This is the sad state of affairs that we find ourselves at the end of December in 2020. Okay? This is where we're at. And this is why I've been saying all along that people seriously need to start waking up to what's going on, the things that these kind of people are involved in, the laws that they've passed, the decisions that they've made that's affected millions and millions of people, and what is going on in all of this, okay? Because we are not being told the truth, okay? I'm telling you, we are not being told the truth. These people are not transparent, they're not to be trusted, and we only have to look at some of the things that we've been talking about that the media stay silent on, you know, completely silent on, don't they? Okay, and the kind of things that we've been talking about, the media should be holding these people to account, putting them under some scrutiny, you know, putting them under some tough questions if they were so impartial and it was such a free press. And we know that they're working hand in hand, should I say, with people like Hancock, Johnson, Starmer, Patel, and Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, and the like, okay? And it's about time that these people were made to answer some questions. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Because in a democracy, we should be able to ask and demand that these people are made to answer questions about what they're doing and what they're involved with, okay? And it's as simple as that. And none of us should have to apologise for that either, okay? So if you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more, then please like and subscribe to the channel. And once you do, please ring the notification bell so I can notify you guys out there of forthcoming videos that I'm going to put out and forthcoming instalments of Arno TV. I want to thank all the new subscribers again, because I'm noticing more and more subscribers are coming in. So thank you very, very much for your support. It's much appreciated. It really, really is. And if you can share this channel with other people and help me grow it, absolutely fantastic. And for the new subscribers that have come in as well, this channel is also replicated on BitChute. And you can also, on BitChute, watch the one video that YouTube censored, okay? So that's available on BitChute for you as well. So I'm going to be back soon. I want everybody to take care. I'll be back soon, as I said, with more videos for you. Stay rock and roll. And thank you so much for watching Arno TV. Please take care, guys, in these tough times.